Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
We have major breaking news to bring you from here at home, but we are going to start here with breaking news from Washington, D.C. in a historic move. The U.S. House of Representatives just voted to strip Speaker Kevin McCarthy of his gavel after he failed to stave off a rebellion from the right wing of his Republican Party.
So the final vote was 216 in favor of the motion and 210 against the motion. 8 Republicans joined with all Democrats in removing McCarthy. This is the first time in U.S. history that House lawmakers have voted their leader out. We'll have much more coming up later in the newscast.
Now let's get to the breaking news from here at home. Live pictures from Sky 4 right now over Southgate. Crews responding to a major fire. This is happening at a seniors apartment complex.
Yeah, this is at the Meadows of Southgate. It's on Allen Road, not too far from the intersection with Pennsylvania.
Let's get right out to Mara McDonald, who just arrived on the scene here within the last 30 minutes or so. It's a massive fire, Mara. What can you tell us?
Devin, this is bad. Let's just put that out there right now. Number one, take a look behind me. You can see multiple fire departments and police departments and EMS are all in the middle of active evacuations at this point. I just talked to somebody from Southgate PD. I asked, what do we have in the way of injuries? What do we have in the way of fatalities, if there are any? They said at this point there's just no way to tell because they are trying to get people out of here and try and determine who is accounted for and who is not accounted for. Take a look at the video from Sky 4 right now. I want you to understand the totality of how serious this is. This started out in one building, the building furthest to my left, but it rapidly spread through 2 of the buildings, which, in talking to some of the residents out here, they think that they have lost absolutely everything. There is a 3rd building here at Southgate Meadows. So far, it is untouched. The fire department is up on its ladder. It's pouring water on that building as well as the 2nd building, trying to prevent the spread of that fire. But clearly all of this is being, hampered by the fact that you're dealing with seniors, many of which have serious mobility issues. So you've seen firefighters, EMS, police trying to hustle older people out of here, who can't walk. It slows down the process. It's one of the reasons they really have no idea about injuries at this point. I was talking to one of the residents who got out, who was in there when this whole thing went down, and she explained that it was essentially pandemonium. Take a listen.
The elevators down, the the firemen came in there and took the people's disabled down the stairs. It was good.
Did they have smoke alarms going off in there?
Oh yes, plenty.
Did everybody think it was a drill, or did they
Oh
not
no,
know?
we knew it was a fire. We knew it was a fire.
When you got out here, what did you see?
Oh, it was burning. It was burning. It was immediately burned. Yeah.
We walked from the back.
Back here live, I want you to take a walk with me so you understand what some of the people are telling me. They say that this fire started in that building furthest to the left. You see how far it spread through 2 of the buildings. As far as what caused it, we've got nothing official out of the fire department at this time. However, residents say they've been told that it was another resident who was having an issue putting out a cigarette that likely caused this whole thing. But once again, we're waiting on official confirmation from the fire department. I asked Southgate PD when I had a brief moment with them because they are running around out here. I said, "Do you have any idea how many agencies are out here?" They said, "Too many to count." I said, "Any idea on the alarms of the fire?" They said, "We think this was called out as a 7-alarm fire." We're live in Southgate right now. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Just incredible pictures. Again, this major fire at a senior apartment complex in Southgate. Mara, we'll check back in with you throughout this newscast for more updates.
Breaking right now, an 8-year-old child shot in the head on Detroit's west side.
He's in extremely critical condition, is in surgery at an area hospital right now.
Police got the call to the home on Snowden Street right about noon, but they say the shooting happened 30 minutes before anyone called 911. Chief White, as you saw there, has a lot of questions about what was going on in that house when that shot was fired.
We bring in Victor Williams, who's live at the scene. That house was apparently on police radar. Victor.
Yeah, that's right, Devin and Kimberly, and they're trying their best to get to the bottom of what exactly took place. Just moments ago, we did see them pulling guns outside of this home. We do know that there are evidence bags still right there in front. Last we've been told they have not found the weapon that was used, but still, this is just such a tragic situation that's playing out right here in this very community.
It's sad. It happens all the time, you know, and these parents need to get more control of their household.
It's another case of a sad situation on Detroit's west side, with yet another child, this time an 8-year-old, accidentally shot by an unsecured weapon.
Why he wasn't in school? You know, that's where he should have been, in school, and this wouldn't have never happened.
It all happened around noon on Snowden Street. Dozens of officers on scene, even a K-9 officer looking for the weapon, and Chief James White, who is fed up with the fact that this continues to happen over and over again.
It did not have to happen. We did not have to have another young child in our community shot, and we should be sick and appalled by it and just absolutely tired of it.
In this case, it's 4 children in the home between the ages of 1 and 8, while 4 adults were also inside sleeping when the shot was fired. For some reason, no one called 911 for 30 whole minutes.
It seems like everyone would be urgently either taking the child to the hospital or calling 911. There's 3 cars, 2 in the driveway, 1 in front of the house. All seem to come back to that home. So we're very concerned why no adult took the child to the hospital.
But as it turns out, Child Protective Services have been here multiple times, most recently just a few days ago.
Neighbors have already said they've called several times, and nothing has happened. So that's a problem itself.
And you guys can't see it right now, but we did just see some officers pulling out what appears to be 2 assault rifles outside of that home, additional weapons, and then putting it inside of that van. We did hear Chief James White say that the person that they have ID'd at this home has some type of history of using illegal guns. So they are, like we said before, trying to get to the bottom of this. But once again, our thoughts and prayers are with that 8-year-old. We're told that he is in critical condition and unfortunately is going to have emergency surgery. So just like we said, just another horrible situation playing out on the west side that didn't have to happen at all. Victor Williams, Local 4.
Just dreadful. All right, Victor. Yet another big story breaking tonight. The Michigan Supreme Court makes a historic ruling.
James and Jennifer Crumbley are going to stand trial for their alleged roles in the Oxford school shooting. It makes them the first parents to face charges in connection to what their child did. Jacqueline Francis is live on this story. Jacqueline, they fought for a long time to get these charges thrown out, and this is the outcome we hear today.
That's right. The Crumbleys have been trying to get these charges thrown out for quite some time now. They first went to the appellate court, which did not rule in their favor, then to the Michigan Supreme Court, who just came out today saying they will not take on the case. Long story short, the Crumbleys are headed for trial.
The parents of the Oxford school shooter are headed to trial. James and Jennifer Crumbley are charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter in connection with the November 2021 school shooting. The Michigan Supreme Court shutting down their last-ditch effort to have the charges thrown out. Legal expert Neil Rockine says the decision is not a testament to the couple's guilt or innocence.
The Supreme Court is really saying right now is that they're not going to weigh in anymore. The appeals court in Michigan is now going to step out of this and is now going to let a jury decide this case.
He says a jury could find the couple not guilty and it'd be the end of the case.
This is too novel of a theory. It's too unusual.
Or if the parents are found guilty, they could appeal that verdict to the Court of Appeals and the Supreme Court. If those convictions were to withstand the appeal process, legal experts say precedent will be set, making them the first parents in America convicted in a school shooting perpetrated by their child.
That sends an incredible precedent. That puts every parent on notice. Anywhere, particularly in Michigan, but this is a sort of case that can actually be used in other jurisdictions by other prosecutors and other courts to say, look, they did it in Michigan. They prosecuted parents based on a theory of gross negligence in Michigan, and they convicted the parents. And if they have facts that are similar, they'll cite to that case.
Now the big question, when will this trial be? Our legal experts are guessing it could be as soon as January. But of course, we are waiting still to hear from the court on the official date that will be. Reporting live in Detroit, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
Jacqueline, thank you. Well, there may not have been any injuries, but it left a whole lot of damage to clean up. And today, neighbors on Detroit's west side did just that after yesterday's natural gas explosion blew a home to pieces. Will Jones is live on Sussex Street for us. Will, neighbors had called DTE about this issue.
Yeah, Kimberly, still a lot of frustration in this neighborhood. Neighbors believe this could have been prevented. This area remains blocked off. Still a lot of work to do here to clean this up. City officials are hoping this gets cleaned up in under 2 weeks.
Debris remains scattered about at Sussex and Florence on Detroit's west side following this home explosion Monday afternoon. But city crews have made progress clearing some of the debris.
This is one of the worst explosions that we've seen. I've never seen an explosion where debris was shot across the street and over the house across the street.
Those at surrounding homes that were damaged trying to figure out what to do.
I see a crack in my living room, and the windows all the windows on the front were blown out.
Neighbors say they had smelled gas for days before this explosion and contacted DTE. DTE saying the incident was a result of at least one open fuel line on resident-owned equipment inside the home. So what can you do to prevent something like this from happening at your home? DTE telling Local 4 all natural gas appliances should be installed by a professional and connections checked regularly for safety. If you smell or suspect a gas leak, leave the area, call 911, then your natural gas provider. Also, make sure your natural gas meter is free of any debris, including snow, so it's always accessible for periodic safety inspections and emergency situations.
I just thank God that none of the neighbors seriously got hurt.
The fire department looked back over their call logs for the past 30 days, and city officials say there were no 911 calls regarding suspected gas leaks. So it is important, if you smell gas, think there is a gas leak in your neighborhood, you should call 911. We are live on Detroit's west side. Will Jones, Local 4.
Okay, well, thank you.